Hello there. Today I'll be talking about scientific ejected theory. Now, what exactly is scientific ejected theory? Well, scientific ejected theory, in short words, is basically finding the ultimate truth, the one and only truth. Like, there can only be one truth. Now, scientific ejected theory helps us explain the past, and it also helps us predict the future. In scientific ejected theory, social scientists gotta agree on 4 different things: relative simplicity, testability, practicality, and quantitative research. These concepts help scientific ejected theory find the ultimate truth. So I can actually recall a time I used scientific ejected theory. This happened when I first moved to UTSA. I was living at University Oaks. Every single day I would walk to class, and every single day I would walk back from class, of course. And every time I would walk back from class, a student would approach me and say, "Hey, are you going to your car?" And I would say no. And they would be like, "Dang." And they would be sad or look stressed. And I would always kind of feel bad because the parking lot at UTSA is usually full all the time. However, one day, one of my classes got canceled and I was done for classes for the day. I didn't mind this, but the thing I did mind was University Oaks internet being down. So me and my roommate were pretty bored. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. And the crazy idea came up to survey the students at UTSA and let's ask them about the parking situation. Let's ask them if they have trouble parking on a day-to-day basis. And I told my roommate, I was like, hey, at least 200 people are going to tell me they have trouble parking on a day-to-day basis. And probably there's going to be like 50 people that have no problem parking at all. So here we are, my roommate and I. We're going around the UTSA parking lot right in front of the recreational center. And we're asking, hey, how long did it take you to find a spot? And then we're writing down their responses. And then some of the responses, I was actually surprised to hear. I didn't expect some of these things. Like, one person was like, oh, it took me less than a minute. Like, when I was pulling up, someone was getting out and I took the spot. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I had another person come up to me and say, hey, it took me about 10 minutes to find my spot. I said, man, that sucks. So after the 2 hours, I was wrong about the amount of people I would get. I actually got 153 people say that they have trouble parking at UTSA on a day-to-day basis. And I only got a whopping 9 people say they don't have problems parking at UTSA, either because they just parked in the garage because they gave up on finding parking, or they have an 8 a.m. class and not a lot of people are on campus at an 8 a.m. So after my research was done, I can say that most students at UTSA struggle with parking, but some students find it best to park in the parking garage or park at 8 a.m. In conclusion, I use the scientific ejected theory to explain the past situation of students having trouble parking at the UTSA campus, gathering quantitative research to help me predict the future that UTSA students will continue having trouble parking because of the university's growth. I also came up with a hypothesis that more students will end up parking in the parking garage or showing up earlier to campus to increase their chances of getting a spot faster. With this information, UTSA can start running game plans on how to increase student satisfaction when it comes to parking. How about Tuesdays make the parking garage free? Most college students are broke and they don't want to spend any extra money that they can. But with a free parking garage, just one day out of the week could help a lot of students find a parking spot. And there's a bunch of space at University Oaks. How about we make a permit that allows students to park at Oaks, but in just certain parts? If UTSA just uses the scientific ejected theory to communicate with the students on how to fix the parking lot, the parking situation could be fixed.